What's up, folks? Welcome back to the podcast. We have a ton to talk about. The world is a mess, but first, what's most important to us in our lives ourselves, not our grand scheme of the whole population, but our lives. It's deer hunting and fishing and all that. We try to live off the land so we can eat less processed food, less GMO fed beef and chicken and all that. And as everyone knows, they've made everything so expensive and just about to the point where you almost can't unless you're like a full-time trapper. You fish all the time. You fill every tag you buy, which would say you'd had to buy each tag, whatever. It's a mess, but that's for those of us that still believe that should be a thing, as it should. But there are people that think oh, it's modern, you should buy beef. Those people are dumb. So we're pretty much out of deer. We've been eating a little bit of fish that we can get caught. The problem this year is the first problem like this that we've ever dealt with. The lake itself has been super high all year. The creeks up and down fluctuating, mostly high. Same thing with the river. Just about impossible to get out and get any wading in. Just about impossible to go to the river and not be hung up the whole time and actually catch fish. It's a lot of chocolate milk, basically. All the creeks, which are like my stomping grounds where I like to take my canoe and just go to each little creek coming into the creek, it's all flooded. I mean, it's possible, but it's more dangerous. It's a lot more work. It's a lot more paddling. It's faster water. You don't know if you're going to get into dams. Usually you do. It's a mess. So, needless to say, we haven't been making very many videos. We haven't been getting out very much to actually get any food in the freezer or just, on the plate in general. We have a pollution problem here in Indiana anyways, where Clear Creek and all these other contaminated creeks dump in to the main creeks and rivers, into Salt and into White River. In my opinion, I think Salt Creek and Clear Creek are actually more polluted than White River is. But it's the rainy season. It's been the rainy season since the beginning of the year. It's wild. Turkey season wasn't even this wet. The whole summer has been wet mostly. And, a lot of people like to push the whole cloud seeding thing or like to say it don't, exist. But so far it looks like there's proof either way. Like there's people that could easily prove that it's not, and then there's people that look like they're proving that it is. So it's a toss-up right now. We'll never get the facts from the government. That's not happening. You know how they are. They're completely twisted, corrupt. They're for themselves, and it is more clear now with the Epstein BS. Like Trump says, this guy doesn't go away, but it's Trump's fault right now that this guy's not going away, in my opinion. Maybe it's not specifically his fault, but we all know we're being lied to. We all know. The Cash guy, the Don guy, that Bondi chick, they all said something different than they're saying now, but the way they're saying it is what's more concerning to me. Because the fire they had before, they don't have that same fire to, be enthusiastic and prove to us truthfully and honestly that there is no list or there is no clients or blah, blah, fucking blah. They haven't proven it in a way that hardly anyone is willing to believe them. It doesn't matter where you go. I have not checked today. I'm a big fan of a lot of YouTube pages, like a lot of people that you can trust, a lot of people that seem to be on the right side for the most part. This could go for politics, this could go for news, this can go for hunting, whatever. Everybody I watch is religious. I'm not. So you can take away from that what you want. I obviously have to take away from their information what I want, because they're giving you information and then they're going because of God or because of this or the same. Shh. It gets old. I get tired of hearing it. I'm not a child. I'm not an infant. The majority of you who still believe, question it. You know you do. You, in the back of your head, you go, but then you are afraid. But whatever. I'm not going to get into it. It's just something that irritates me constantly, seeing the piranhas attack people like me, but they're just delusional and lost. And then they'll say some Bible BS that just is like, what the fuck is wrong with you? The nut job in your brain, the brainwashed shit that you spew back out to try to win an argument or to try to gain ground or to try to prove a point. One of them was trying to say, oh, the absence of heat is why things are cold. Well, then the absence of cold is why things are hot. Shut the fuck up. That doesn't make sense. That's the kind of shit it's just maneuver and twist and get your mind to believe the BS and, oh, that makes sense, and oh, well, if I do, no. Just fucking quit it. Hundreds of people just got swept away, or at least 100, whatever. I think they confirmed 31 dead children. Like, all of the kids, which I want to say I thought that they had got some out, but I'm pretty positive now that what I read was 31 kids from that camp did not make it. That means their parents, their grandparents, their siblings, their cousins, their family, their community, their friends, everybody's mourning. Everybody's in pain, and it makes no sense to me to sit here and press more of that bullshit. It's not getting us anywhere. You can't pray your way into anything. Praying your way out of a situation just doesn't work. For the majority of people, you could pray all you want, and they were probably praying as they were being swept away. Okay? The majority of people are dying horrible deaths throughout all of our lives. We're watching it happen. People that didn't deserve it. People that do deserve it. People like kids who are completely innocent. I mean, it baffles me that we're still on this gig. We're still playing these games. But then I got to roll back and remember, I was raised different. I was raised in the woods. Honestly, I spent more time sitting in a tree, morning and evening or all day. And then if I wasn't, especially whenever I was a little kid, I was in the creeks, like constantly. In the creeks, playing in the mud, flipping over rocks, catching bugs, learning about my environment that I'm living in. Not just walking the main trail, not just getting in a creek a little bit. I lived in the creek every day. Every species of animal that was in this holler I have touched. Every species. I have had some part in interaction, some part in learning about, and it adds up. Once you learn about everything, and you learn, because people like to pull that perspective shit. Oh, you got to look at these people from their perspective. No, I don't. I don't have to. I look at the entire world from all the perspectives of all the bugs, all the animals, all the birds, everything, including the things I hunt, because other things hunt them as well, and those things often hunt other things. Whether you believe it or not, a deer hunts down something to eat, whether it's corn, or sometimes they eat snakes, occasionally they'll eat fish or eggs. Everything, just about nearly everything, is a creature of opportunity. If it is an opportunity and it's not going to harm me or too much work, then it is sustenance to build on for the next day or the next week or whatever. And we get into this human baffle or human debacle or whatever. It's fucking early, but whatever, where they're in this delusional fantasy that humans are created in the image of something else, and that something else just loves us all, but at the same time is literally sweeping people away and killing them in a brutal, horrible death. Meanwhile, they're probably screaming, "God help me." I'm not being a dick. I'm not trying to say, oh, you're a bad person because you pray or what. I get good intentions. I went to church most of my life, like until I had adulted out of it and just understood the hypocrisy behind most people in a church. You know what I'm talking about, because If you've been to church, you've seen the hypocrisy behind most people in a church, especially if you started as a kid, you've seen how they acted. You've seen how those same adults acted at church versus how they acted outside of church. It's all just, oh, well, if I go here and I make amends of what I did there and pray and, whatever, that it'll all go away. Or that you could wash it away by getting baptized. It's bullshit. That's just one more way for a terrible person to think that they're going to get in to some falsified place that just does not exist. And if you're leaving this channel or leaving this video because I'm speaking out against something that is clearly having a negative impact on the entire community, you can pretend it does not. Just because groups go to churches every Sunday or whatever doesn't mean they're good people. It doesn't mean that those people don't go home and beat their wives or beat their children or, drink alcohol and get real mean or do pills and fuck shit up, steal shit. It doesn't mean that those people are honest people. It doesn't mean those people aren't screwing someone over as soon as they get home or all week long and then they go to church and act like it was for the better good or some shit. There's always some justification in the human mind of what we're doing to people and what we're doing to things. Like I say, I'm on a lot of pages. If you guys follow me, you hear me talk about, I'm on a lot of pages. I'm always investigating. I'm always gathering information. In my older years, I'm not even old yet, but in my older years, I'm more addicted to knowledge than anything, so I'm grabbing it up from every source, from both sides. I want to hear both sides. Do you understand? Political or nature. I'm listening to both sides. You got humans over here bitching about like Bradford pear trees because they're invasive. We brought them here, okay? Then you got the same people bitching about mulberry trees. We also brought them here. It doesn't matter if they're invasive or not, we brought them here. One is pretty in the spring, got the white flowers, looks nice. Some people say they smell. I personally haven't came across one that stunk. But the mulberry trees feed so many animals on a scale that these ignorant humans who have no interaction with real wildlife will even understand. They don't pay attention to one tree. They don't pay attention to two trees. They don't pay attention to all the trees. They're not paying attention. They're worried about comfort, AC, internet, eating, addiction. It has nothing to do with real life. It has nothing to do with being in the world. It has nothing to do with going outside. It has nothing to do with observing other creatures from the same fucking planet. So when you pull out or you romp it through a creek, annihilating ecosystems you don't even know you're fucking with, everything you just ran over, you don't give a fuck. People that do shit like that, they don't think, they don't care. They romp. People that romp little four-wheeler trails in the fucking woods, whatever lived in those zones has now dispersed. You negatively impacted it because you wanted to, not because you needed to or for any reason other than that. It's because you wanted to destroy so you could have fun. That's a typical human trait. It's what we do. It's sad, but it's what we do. I was once ignorant as a child and did shit like that, but I'm an adult. I don't know why they don't teach you. But then again, it's perspective. I spent my life sitting for hours upon hours waiting on select animals that I was going to eat, or I was going to try to eat anyways. And in that time, you sit and you watch multiple other animals doing their day-to-day, which had nothing to do with human life. They don't want anything to do with us. They don't want to interact with us or anything. They just go about their business, flying around, running up trees, running through the woods, digging holes, buzzing, whatever creature they were, they're just doing their own thing. All that shit is being negatively impacted by humans who are over here saying, oh, a tree is bad. Oh, this tree is bad. Well, what do? We look at a place and go, I'm going to throw a driveway up that, dig a bunch of holes, put a septic, water lines, electricity, build my own place in that spot. And then that just gone on for so long that now we're at a point where we have chunks of woods, chunks of habitat, chunks of okay ecosystems. The majority of them are impacted by us, and the animals are having to fight back. Not like they're coming at us with a fork. These animals are having to rapidly mutate or just move in general, which means their diet's going to change, which is going to change them anyways. But it's just a continuance until there's nothing, until it's a subdivision, until it's a little village or a city or whatever. It goes from, like, right next to us, goes from a field to multiple houses, to multiple businesses, to a giant church. I mean, the entire chunk of one bit of land that could have, if you just let it be woods, sustained thousands of animals, bugs, critters of all kinds, life. And humans come in, mow it down, throw up a couple houses, and you end up with 20 to 40 people. For what? 20 to 40 people who don't come out of their house and enjoy the same shit that they just destroyed and rebuilt their own. They come outside to mow, come outside maybe to jump on a trampoline. The kids spend more time outside than the adults anymore. You know what's crazy? Driving through town. I hate town. I hate it. But in my teens, I was a skateboarder, so I was in town non-stop. Like, if it wasn't school, I was in town skateboarding. If it wasn't raining or snow, something. Even in bitter cold, if it wasn't snowy or wet, we would be skateboarding. We lived for it. That was what we wanted to do as a profession. And even living in the country out here just pulled us, it was too far. So we didn't have that constant interaction that we needed to get to that next stage. But the problem being, I can drive through town on most days. And I did just the other day, and I was just like, man, it feels like a ghost town. And I know we have thousands of people, but it feels like a ghost town. There's people driving, there's people going through the restaurants, but there's not kids and people just going from point A to point B by foot, not by bike, not by skateboard. Maybe the occasional crackhead, but like, what the fuck? People that, like I said, I'm for the people, but at the same time, I don't really care for humans because the way we react and interact to things. And I'm just seeing what we're doing and backing out of like common sense. And now they just live in their phones in comfort, and they don't come outside and enjoy life and breathe, climb trees and get a scrape. Like, it's just, it seems nearly gone for the most part. Most people are giving up. They're just like, oh, I got everything I need here on this phone. I got my addiction. La la la. Every 3 seconds, something new. La 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 la. It's politics. It's fishing. It's blah. It's just fucking one thing after another. Just flip, 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 flip. The constant pages being like meme pages and shit being taken over by, I don't even know. It's not like an individual, like, we'll call them models, but they're not. It's just half naked bitches. The pages get taken over. Next thing you know, your real feed or whatever is just naked bitches. You're like, that page was a bunch of comedy. That page was fishing, and it's gone. So you just got to start deleting them and find new ones. That shit gets old. Like, we're just such a species of consume and destroy. Consume and destroy. I'm starting to sound like a hippie. I'm starting to fully understand what hippies were feeling. And I actually put it in another perspective. You guys watch Joe Rogan, you watched the Mushroom Guy the other day. He kind of speaks about it in the way that I feel. I don't know if he's religious. I don't know. All I know is he has an understanding of the human body the same as I do. We're here, we exist, we move matter from place to place, and then when it's time, our body goes back, it decomposes, the bones, everything eventually turns back into energy and redisperses out. That is all there is to it. It's nothing special. It's all by chance. There is no greater thing like that. There's no, you were never set a life that you have to follow. There's nothing, not everything was for a reason. Definitely not all those children dying. That's not for a reason. If you think that's for a reason and your God just works in mysterious ways, well, I got bad news for you. You're retarded, and that's fucking stupid. I would never, in a million years, if I'm a image of my Creator, and I don't see myself ever being that cruel to take little children's lives via rapid whitewater, Any of you who've ever been on fast water on the river in a boat know what scare it is. Could you imagine falling in that and being swept down, pulled under, beaten off of logs and roots and trees, and then eventually hope's lost and you die? Do any of you really think that's for a reason? Delusional. I'm beyond over the BS around it. It's not making things better. We've not prayed ourselves into a better place. That was because we all got pissed, got up and voted. We're slowly getting in a better place. But, as I've said, and as the delusional left does not understand, we are not a cult. If Trump has something to do with this, he belongs in the same lineup with every other corrupt pedophile or tyrannical politician, whatever you want to call them. Our founders would have already rounded them all up. They would not allow this. They would not act like the majority of us have bad judgment, because they're literally insulting our intelligence and telling us, you don't know better than us. It's bullshit. Believe us. That's what they're telling you. After years of the back and forth and the rage and the rage bait, the fuel that they put into this fire for them to piss it out and say, there was never a fire. What are you talking about? This is dumb. This is a dumb conversation. What are you talking about? That makes no sense. That tells you and everybody else it's a cover-up. Everybody knows it's a cover-up. It's gotten to the point where they got to beep out the word sex in front of trafficking so that their channel, their page, whatever, doesn't get deleted, demonetized, whatever. That's where we're at. That's where the fuck we're at in a country that's supposed to protect your freedom to speak up. That's speaking up. That's like me being in a courthouse and saying the word fuck and them trying to correct me. You don't have the right to correct me. You don't have the right to take my First Amendment right, which is just the ability to speak my mind. If I see corruption, I see pedophilia, I see any kind of wrongdoing, and I'm trying to speak up about it, that's your First Amendment right. That's what it was for. It's so that we aren't condensed down to, yes, sir, yes, ma'am, yes, master. No, the fuck, we are not slaves. We might be slaves of taxes, slaves of property tax, but we are not slaves. You will literally have to kill me before you shut me up. You have zero right to tell me you can't say cuss words in court. You can go fuck yourself. If you think that you can sit there and, oh, what's the word? I keep going back to the word monetize, but that's not it. It's more about gaining your money on your shit. But anyways, it'll come back to me. Total brain fart. But yeah, it's fucked up is what it is. It's a fucking problem, and we're just sitting here letting it happen and praying that it gets better. Praying that something does. Praying that those babies get justice while they have never had justice for years. If something happened to my child, something is going to happen to that person immediately. Immediately. You better hope the cops get there before me. Immediately. So why do we let these other babies, these other girls, teens, whatever they were, why do we let their pain, their suffering, and most likely their deaths go completely unliberated? There's no justification in the justice system anymore. It's monetize, revenue, some way to make money off of everything and everybody, but giving less. They're doing less for us, lying more, clearly, but doing less. It's sad. It really is. Most of us just want to fish. We want to hunt. We want to provide for our families. We don't want to worry about losing what we have already worked for and paid taxes on, which is money to someone who didn't fucking do anything. Same thing with your daily, your weekly, your monthly income. You make that money. You, United States citizen, we the people, you individually make your money, and someone else taxes you for working? Why the fuck did we ever let this become a thing? You are getting taxed for your efforts to not be lazy. Your efforts to provide are now being deducted from. You made this much to provide. No, you actually made this much. Sorry, I get that cut. Oh, well, that goes to roads, and that goes to all the other things that are fucked up. Drive down any road. Show me a good road that is not recently paved. I'll wait. They suck so bad at making good roadways. Every road around here, highways and all, have holes in them, cracks in them, big fucking, like, creakle ruts, like a fucking mountain is about to grow up under the road. Am I crazy? Am I literally that crazy that thinking freedoms should be free, and what's mine should be mine, and that fucking pedophiles should be swinging from a tree? Am I that fucking crazy? Really? To want to protect kids and want to protect our own wallets, want to protect what is yours? When you earn something, a lot of you may not know what the fuck that is. When you earn something and you have it, you've started from the ground up. Now you have your own place, your own little cave, hopefully on your own land. And then someone says, every year you owe me this much money. So for every 2 years, roughly, it's a little bit more, but every 2 years, over $1,000, just from what I own already. So they're making 500 something every year off of my money, off of my property that I mow, that I take care of. But technically I pay for it to be mowed. But that's $100 a week. Those fucking taxes don't pay that. They don't. They don't fucking do for us. There's a problem right next door. Dude with a huge semi dumps his oil. You know how much oil's in a semi. Whole driveway is a puddle, like that deep. And it's raining constantly, but even without the rain, it goes right into the runoff, 50 yards down the creek. Into the creek. Washing down. Affecting everything. They told me, oh, well, I'm going to send you an email and you can fill it out. They never sent it, by the way. But instead of getting to the bottom of it and sending someone out, because I pay taxes and I fucking should earn that much, nope. Here's an email that I didn't send. An email. Who the fuck am I emailing? Why do you have a number for me to call if I'm not going to fucking get the problem dealt with there? That's a useless job. We have a bunch of dumb bitch old ladies running this shit, sitting in these fucking courthouses, in these little offices, telling us, oh, go send an email. Why the fuck are you sitting in that office if you're just collecting phone calls? I could just email the fucking place myself, and then they could send me an email to send back. Whatever the fuck that would mean. But instead, yeah, make a call. Fucking maybe they'll send their email. Maybe someone will come out. No one has ever came out. They never sent an email. Pollution, they don't give a fuck. EPA doesn't give a fuck. Nobody gives a fuck until it's a problem for a big fucking name, somebody with a lot of money, somebody with a lot of power, a big corporation, something. Or somebody's in it where they can re-benefit off getting them in trouble because they're a big enough name. They're not going to make all that much off of getting one person, one single person who doesn't give a fuck about anybody. But you'll make a lot off a big company. They know that. They wait for that. It's fucked up. It's wrong. That's why the whole ecosystem, the world we're in, the entire ecosystem in this ball, the thing we call a globe, the idiots call flat, yeah, it's all fucking just being poisoned and coming apart. The only way for everything to get better is for us to leave. That's fucked up. We're that bad of a species that if we automatically, Thanos, gone, then what? Earth becomes better. Earth heals, Earth moves on, Every other animal doesn't get affected by our bullshit. Who knows how many millions of animals die per day on roads, highways, interstates, in a parking lot, somewhere via tire. It doesn't get picked up unless you're in Alabama. Occasionally, somewhere around here, if I see it get hit, I'll pick up a deer. But, you see what I'm saying? The majority is being killed for no reason. While the DNR's over here going, oh, well, hunters can only take so much because they're the problem. No. I don't know how to tell you this, but no. Go fuck yourself. You're a completely delusional jackass. You haven't put anything in perspective. Hunters aren't going out and slaughtering everything. We're not. There's some fucking crackheads and ex-heroin addicts and meth heads who are out stealing people's ginseng and shit. That's not us. The majority of us are out here waiting on our fucking season so that we can be hunting in a designated time frame, which I understand because of being born and needing a certain time frame, that kind of shit. The birthing time frame and the raising time, I understand that. But then they go here, oh, you can only have this much. Oh, you can only do, oh, you can only blah, blah. It's always a you can only. They're giving us less and less, taking more and more and charging more and more. And then people are cucking on that shit. People are, oh yeah, they do it. They do this, the habitat, blah, 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 blah. Blah! You know what I'm talking about. If you don't, then you're delusional too. You're a complete idiot who hasn't factored in the fact that the world's being destroyed by us, whether it's the government or not. They don't give a fuck about you. They hire these piece of shit dudes who write ticket after ticket after ticket, bullshit ticket after bullshit ticket. Crimes against humanity. They want those dudes. Those are the perfect candidates for making them money. They look like shit while they make money. Because you don't question the person past that guy. You go, he's a piece of shit, he gave me a ticket. He is a piece of shit, he did give you a ticket. The person behind him is the one pressing that. I want this much out of you. Give me this much. Revenue, 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 revenue. You build it up, then they act like they redisperse it, when in reality they just hire another officer to do it some more. Are you thinking about it yet? Is anything clicking? Or are you just sitting there going, excuse, this guy's crazy, excuse. You guys come up with so many fucking excuses that your own lives are retarded, and you don't even realize it. Most people have no fucking idea they're living a bullshit ass life. I fully understand this life's bullshit. We don't even have what we had in the 90s as far as happiness. It's not fucking possible. It's too expensive, too caged in to enjoy. It's now gotten to the point that, like as a little kid, you didn't know everything. You could just go. Maybe you'll run into somebody and they'll be like, oh, hey, this is my property. You know, don't come back or have fun. That's how people used to be. And it used to be majority, hey, how you doing? Playing in the creek, good times. Now they see you, they're like, I'm going to call the police. Oh, God. It's sad. Being a human being is probably the worst shit, and we don't even know it because we think, oh, we have the consciousness, we have the ability to think, we have the ability to get comfort and AC, blah, blah, in life's. In the real world, you might die, you might not. Every day is a survival. But it's freedom. It's real freedom. You're too worried about comfort and you're not worried about being able to actually just go. Any other animal could just go. We can't. I can just go until I hit a border and then it's, well, this is the end of the line, no more adventure. It doesn't matter if you're on public around here. We don't have enough public for an adventure to be a real adventure. Trust me, I've been on real adventures out west, New Mexico, Colorado. I've been on real hikes, real mountains, real fun. That, I loved it. Like, to my core, I just want to go back. Like, I don't want to leave when I'm there. And then you get back and you get back into boxed in life, back into, if you look at it on an aerial map, it's just squares, man. It's just a bunch of squares. We're just living life in little boxes, just scattered across the land. And I get it. We're humans. You need that security, you need that safety, you need that feeling that you own something, that feeling that no one can take whatever you got or whatever, even though the government can if you forget to pay them. Yeah. Well, shit's fucked up. It's a mess. Get your brooms. It's a mess. Because it is. It's going to be a hot day. I can already feel it heating up, but at the same time, it looks like it's going to storm. So what's that about? I don't know. It's been raining nonstop. My guess is it's like the every 10 to 13,000 cycle. 10 to 13,000 year cycle. I've got to be clear because you guys don't know what I'm talking about. Where essentially in that time frame, every time it gets to that point, we get into kind of a shift, is my guess. They called it an ice age. I think it's a shift. Every 10 to 13,000 years is when the Earth's axis starts to move again and changes where it's at. That's why the majority of what got washed out, where I sit is just below where the glacier, like the side of the glacier that sat on North America, we're just below that. So basically, that's just the polar cap rotating at a super slow pace. Obviously, it's not something measurable by the human mind that fast, especially if you're not very observant, you're looking at your phone every day, all day. But yeah, it's happening. It's always been happening. It's not climate change, it's climate migration. The climate has to migrate. It is the same as all its creatures, where matter just has to constantly move. If it doesn't, it becomes stagnant. Once it moves, you move this, you move that, blah, 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 the ecosystem is able to be, it is able to exist. But stagnant happens whenever things are just not. They're not being mobile, they're not being moved, they're not being washed, flipped, grow, die. It's not happening. So essentially, all the cold went way up north, but I think there's a lot of rain. There's a lot of water. I talked about this earlier. The lake has been high as hell. Creeks, the rivers, all high. We haven't been able to wade. We've hardly been able to fish. If I drove north, yeah, I could find some places to fish, but mostly nothing. And we don't really have anything to blame other than common sense. We can say, hey, this has happened in this time frame, and it happened in this time frame, and it looks like it's happening now, which adds up. But it is what it is. If you don't believe it, it is what it is. Just keep watching. I'm hoping it's not, because if that's the case, we're hardly ever going to get to wade again. We're hardly ever going to get to fish again, because all these creeks are deep as hell right now, and they are moving. You cannot walk. I promise you. If I jumped in any creek right now that I usually go wading in, I would be swept. I'd be like, back to the bank, we out of here instantly. But it's what we're dealing with. In the meantime, we're hoping for some deer season. That's what we really care about. That's what we don't want to care about politics. We don't want to care about any of this big global shit. It's just part of the problem. It's just part of what is coexisting with us. It is issues. I bring up issues I see, hoping we can come together as a community and all see the truth rather than fucking shield it with more blindfolds and excuses. I may not be the top tier smartest person in the world, but I ain't one of the dumbest. By no means. I'm seeing shit. I've called it. Doesn't matter who you talk to. If they know me, especially in the last 5 years, if they know me, I've been calling things long before they've happened, to the point where they almost gave me a big head the way they would, how the hell did you know all that? How did you know every, you know what I mean? Like, it just got to the point was like, yeah, this is weird that I'm guessing these things based off my observations, and then they happen. But then we got called conspiracy theorists, and at this point that's like a compliment, because if you're a conspiracy theorist now, there ain't any more conspiracies to theorize about. It is just facts that came out after. What are you going to do about that? Sit back and still say those people were crazy? No. You can't. You can't. Because all the people that got shots and wore the masks and all that bullshit, And there was a lot. Way outnumbered the amount of people that were standing their ground and did not get the shots and did not wear the masks and didn't fall in. Not one time did you ever see me at Walmart wearing a mask. You saw me getting stared at in a sea full of jackasses wearing masks because they were scared. They listened to what they were told rather than what they felt. And they allowed themselves to be vulnerable. They allowed themselves to become victims. Never allow yourself to become a victim. It's just not worth it. Doesn't matter in what aspect. Once you have, people look down on you. People will, obviously, because I look down on those motherfuckers who were walking around like retards in masks. But people will look at you differently because they've now seen what they thought was weakness, whether it is or isn't. In my opinion, it is definitely a weakness to not be able to see the truth. I don't know how the truth is that hard to see. We were taught our entire lives, the truth, the truth, the truth. Anytime you lied, you got in trouble. That's how they weaned you out of lying. Lying is clearly a human aspect or a human trait. It is a very common human thing, lying for whatever reason, whether it's bullshit, whether you're lying to help somebody, whether it's a white lie, whether it's a big lie. Lies, 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 lies. Like, I don't even know why we lie so fucking much as a species. It's to the point now, like, when I hear someone talk and I instantly know the truth, but they're so confident about it, I just kind of get quiet and listen. Like, all right, here we go. The show has began. A kid the other day came to my house, looks at my 5-year-old who's trying to show him a cool crystal rock he bought at the rock show. He's like, oh, by my observation, that's blue and see-through. It's blah, blah, blah. Kid was way off. It was literally like resin. Like, the fuck, dude? That's the problem. You got these kids that are being brainwashed to think they're smarter than they are because they're watching shit on tablets all day. Hell, this kid kept saying, oh, I just love my history. It's like, dude, you said nothing about history. You just keep saying you love history. Name something about it. My cousin, he thought he knew history too. Turned out his dumbass mother was telling this motherfucker that Lincoln was a Democrat. I mean, you know, if you're going to start them off stupid, let's tell them the opposite of what a president was. One of that substance. That is not just a president you can lie about. That is a president that if you're lying about him, it's for an agenda. Lincoln was a man of the people. He protected the rights of people that didn't have them and gave freedom to slaves who didn't have freedom prior to getting shipped to America. They were literally rounded up by their own people. Most of them were thieves or rapists or whatever. Bad eggs in the community were slaved out. Not just to our country either. They were slaved out to all kinds of countries. Just so happened that our country was like, whoa, something ain't right about this. Something's a little weird about buying people. Like, yes, some of them down south bought. I think the sun affected their heads a lot, but that's why the north up here, where we have common sense and shade underneath trees, we're like, whoa, hey guys, I don't think you should have slaves. I know you bought them. I know that's your livelihood and that's, you know, how you run your farm, but that's a person. I don't know what to tell you. And for some reason, hundreds of thousands or millions or whatever the number is, because who knows, everything's a bullshit number now. But all the people that stood up for those slaves and died for them, who cares about them, even though there was clearly more than the people that we beat? But now all white people, anytime you see a white people, there's a white people. White people, white people. They got to say white people like it's going out of style. Like that's going to gain them instant power. Oh, that's white people. White people do this. White people do that. But then when you reverse the roles, you're the racist. I know, because the second I lost my hair, I instantly started getting called a racist for the first time in my life. What the fuck? That's how stupid motherfuckers are. That a person goes bald, now that you're white and bald, you must be a skinhead. It's the only thing that adds up. We're too stupid to understand that people go bald for many other reasons, like Michael Jordan, a black man, and fucking 50 to 100 other NBA players alone, bald, black. Not racist, though. That's only if the skin color is white with the bald. That's it. You just got to know what you got to know. That's how it works. Duh. You see what I'm saying? That's not how it works. It's not how it works. It's not how it's going to work. I got put in a box over stress and skin color. Pretty fucked up. Now, you could say I'm putting you in a box now, but at the same time, what they call fatigue, you're seeing it everywhere now. People are saying fatigue. It's because they're fucking tired of this. I didn't deserve to be called racist any of the times I was called racist. Not once. Actually, while we're at it, while you fucking jackasses stuck in cult world are going to say that Trump supporters are in a cult, MAGA cult. I never bought a hat. I never bought shit. I never said MAGA. Make America great? Yes. I don't shorten it up. I'm not fucking 12. I don't need that. A. B. You going, oh, he's white, you're racist, blah, blah, blah. That doesn't make me the bad person. It makes you the bad person. It makes you unable to understand. Racism is when you point out skin color. You fuck. I got ridiculed. Ridiculed for being a Trump supporter. Ridiculed for wanting my country better. Ridiculed for being bald and white and a Trump supporter. Man, if you're asking for it, God, just be a human being who wants better for the people. Somebody will call you something bad. They will, because they suck dick. They got nothing else to do. Their lives are miserable. Everything is everyone else's problem. It's all their fault. No accountability. None. They don't want to work and have anything. They just want, give me this, give me that. And I'm not saying they as in a race, because one of you motherfuckers is sitting there going, well, who's they? Who the fuck you think? It's the bad eggs of that fucking race. There's not as many good eggs in that race to go off of. It's not racist to point out facts. It's racist to sit there and point out someone's skin color, calling them a racist for standing up for everyone's rights. Oh, you're a racist. Man, that got fucking old. But it still happens to this day, somehow, even though I've got a mixed kid, mixed wife, mixed stepsons. Her father's mixed. I mean, what more? Like, do I have to go, like, tattoo my skin brown to be considered not racist? To be considered just a regular human fucking being? I don't know. That's what they think. But then you'd be like, oh, you're blackface or whatever. But I'm identifying as a non-racist. Help me here. I'm trying to find a ground where I'm not being attacked. But you can't find it here in America because we are miserable beings with nothing better to do than to cry, bitch, attack each other, blame each other. Nobody takes accountability. Nobody steps back and goes, it's all of us. It's the whole fucking thing. We're hateful, evil monsters. We're selfish pieces of shit. All of us. I don't want to be in that box with y'all, but I'm a fucking human being. I'm literally accidentally in the same box. I would have much rather been an eagle. Damn it. Ah! Sound like a goofy crow, but you know what I'm talking about. Shit gets old. Living in this ignorant, defenseless poop shoot. I don't even know what the fuck you want to call this at this point. It's stupid. It's literally stupid. We just live in a society of idiots who all have their own idiot mentality. I promise you, whether it's religious, non-religious, some people will argue for drugs like they're actually going to benefit them. It won't. They're in jail now or dead. We could do better, people. We could do better. We could do a lot better. But in other news, UFC's crazy. The early stoppages continue. There's more drama. There was a dude not too long ago who pulled an Aljamain and, I got hit, but then lays on the ground like he got knocked out. And then fake seizure and all. Hollywood, dude. These guys are flopping like LeBron. I don't know. But the early stoppages are getting old. Derek Lewis is an absolute beast. We all know this. He was going to knock that guy out eventually. However, since he got hit a couple times and was getting up using the fence, as hundreds of UFC fighters have done, hundreds, they usually take a point or a warning. But he got knocked out, even though he swung as the referee was still stopping it. That, my friends, is called stupidity. We're getting to the point where if they can close it out faster, they will. Even though, hey, maybe an actual knockout would have been way cooler, would have looked way better, wouldn't have had any controversy. Just saying. Shit gets old. We're watching society deteriorate around us. Our waterways are poisonous. They're just shit, filled with trash and pollution from companies and homes and people. It's just people. The human race being the human race. It's a sad, sad reality, but it is what it is. It sucks. Not a fan. But we're moving on. So, deer season's coming up. Got a couple months. We are crazy excited. We have been shooting our bows. I'm trying to get my recurve dialed in. I'm a little sloppy, but I know I can do it. I just have this new recurve that doesn't shoot like this one. Just got to get it to that point where I'm comfortable enough that inside of, like, say 20, 25 yards, I feel that's where I want to be. Like, I want to be comfortable that I could shoot at least a doe to start. After that, who knows? But that's where I want to begin. If I can make it happen, that'd be awesome. We've been shooting a lot, though. We've been excited. We don't have a lot of big bucks on camera or anything like that, but we got some young, good little bucks for the kids. We got plenty of does lined up. Seen a bunch of hens and some poults the other day. That's good news. I'm super late. Super late on getting one of my food plots done, but I've talked to the landowner. We're hopefully going to get it done as soon as it's dry enough. Just don't want to get stuck with a tractor. It's the only one I'm going to have done with a tractor because most gets done by hand. It's just how it is. But on this land, this guy has a tractor. He has all the equipment. He said he'd do it. So we're going to get that food plot done. We're going to get a new blind built there. Hopefully I do videos on all that since we don't get to do videos on fishing this year. And again, hopefully we'll get a couple videos in with fishing. But yeah, I think that's about all I want to talk about. I know I went on a hellacious rant. There's so much bullshit anymore. I'm just fucking tired of it. I honestly think we need to come together and fix it. But until then, we're going to at least stand up against it. I'm going to at least be vocal about it. And if you're not completely like, that guy's an idiot, come on back. Like, subscribe, share the videos, tell your friends. If you see something in this specific, a little clip, whatever, show your friend that clip. Whatever you've seen that matters or doesn't matter, we're just trying to build this channel, trying to get to a point where I no longer have to work the job I'm working, and I have been for 20 years. I'm over it. It's been exhausting. It's one of them jobs that takes way more than it gives. And a lot of people don't understand it. They don't see all that it takes. So it's old. I'm tired of it. I'm not in a good place with it. I'm ready to move on. I don't care how good I am at it. It's just not what I love, you know? What I love is nature, hunting, fishing, life, being able to feel free, being able to feel like I can spread my wings and not bump into somebody, piss somebody off, or get in legal trouble. I just want to be free and happy. The actual pursuit of happiness.